Hello everybody, my name is Infinite Truce. For those of you that know me, it's been a long time since I've made some videos. And not that anybody owes anybody any explanation, but I'm going to try my best to kind of describe what's been going on in my life and where I am personally on my journey right now. And hopefully this will help people understand kind of what happened. So, big news, I graduated college. I got my degree in computer science, and I'm working for a wonderful company right now as a software developer, and it has given me the freedom to be able to do a lot of things, and hopefully in the future I'm looking at getting my master's degree. It'll be great, but I graduated back in May, and one of the last times that you guys really saw me, there was like a year and a half or 2 year interval, and I was playing BioShock. And then there was another 3 year interval, and here I am again. So, what the fuck happened, right? Well, I went to Camp Skyway whenever I was graduating high school, and at that point, I didn't really want to go. I wanted to pump all my time, energy, and effort into YouTube and to this channel, and I was getting ready to go to college, so I was dating somebody at the time, and we had been in a relationship for 3 years, and it was a great relationship, but after Skyway, that didn't really work out, so I decided to move forward from that relationship, and ultimately I think it helped both of us grow. So I did that, and then I went through like a pretty big trough in life, and that's when I started making YouTube videos. I was a freshman in college, and still trying to find myself, and I found YouTube, and I wasn't the best at it. I was just a kid that wanted to have some fun, and it made me feel like I wasn't alone. And for a lot of you, it made you feel like you weren't alone either. And that was a great feeling. You know, the one thing that didn't work out, though, is that my passion and my drive did not sync up with the time that I had for it. Because, you know, pursuing a baccalaureate degree in a complex field means that the more time that goes by, the less time that you have, right? So I didn't really have a lot of time. I had a lot of this drive and a lot of the will to do it, but I didn't have enough of the time. And I also didn't have money for equipment and all of that. I'm still using the same equipment that I had from college, that I bought when I graduated high school. So, I was on a roll, hit winter break, and I had all of these ideas, and I didn't have internet to be able to upload them. Went back to school, and that second semester had a lot less time than the first, and shit, it really ate up a lot of my time. So last major event was me saying I was going to go to Camp Skyway again, because I wanted to change some kids' lives, and I was still in a very I'm going to say douchey headspace, you know, like I had my hat on and all of that. And I was just a kid, man. I was really just a kid. And I look back at it and I'm like, wow, holy fuck, I look younger. I look, if only me back then knew what the fuck was in store for me over the next couple of years. Oh shit, I would have prepared myself a little bit better, but life's a bitch, then you marry one. I'm just kidding. That's just me making jokes. So I went back to that camp, and I had a great time. I changed a lot of kids' lives like I planned on it, and I fell in love. Story of summer, right? You know, classic. Meet somebody during the summer, and is it a summer fling? Is it not? And I fell in love with this one person, and it was like the first time in my life that I felt like I had really become attached to somebody to a point. Like it kind of obfuscated the love that I had in my past, where I was like, was that really love? Because I feel like this is what love is, right? And I went through the whole Tinder phase, my hoeing phase is what I'll call it, and I ended up at the camp, and I met this person, and I thought that I loved them, and like bam, like it was like fantastic. Summer ends, you know, we were only able to go out on dates once a week, maybe, because we worked so often. And summer ends, and I got to go back up to Flagstaff. So I go back up to Flagstaff, and I got an apartment there, and, you know, I was on campus, but it was an apartment still. And like, we decided to stay together. She was not in Flagstaff, but she ended up visiting me, and then I would come back down there to visit. And that worked for a while until things started to fall apart. And I was making some videos back then, my sophomore year of college, for this channel. And needless to say, things didn't really go well in that relationship in the video that I was trying to make. And I fell off the bandwagon and really got hurt. I won't get into details because I don't really think it's my place, but like, I got really, really hurt through that, and it crushed me. It crushed my soul, and you know, a child's love, right? And so I fell off my bandwagon again, and you know, this needless attempts at getting into relationships with other people and trying not to feel so alone and all of this other stuff. Anything to drown out the noise, right? But the noise was inside. Anything to keep myself from thinking. And whether that was drinks, or it was people, or dates, or whatever. And I tried, and I hurt some people along the way. I hurt a lot of different people along the way. And I came out of it, and my junior year, that's whenever you saw those videos of BioShock. I'd moved into a full-fledged apartment that wasn't on a campus, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm in the summer, I'm gonna do this shit, it's gonna be fantastic. That summer I was physically assaulted, broke my hand, and that put a damper on that real quick, and I lost a lot of friends. So I stopped making videos, and I joined an academic fraternity, got involved in that, and then that didn't work out. I thought that I was cared for, and I really cared for these people, and some good things came out of it, don't get me wrong, but by the end of that year, I wasn't really liking who I was becoming, and felt like it wasn't in conjunction with who I wanted to be. More relationships snowballed and didn't work, and I started an internship at the company that I work for now, and it was a fantastic time. And I didn't have any relationships that entire summer until the very end, and I had decided to get back on Tinder. Dumb. Going into my senior year of college, and the last person that I ever dated, I met them through that, and you know, same thing. It like eclipsed everything. Oh my God, this person is so fantastic. If there's such thing as soulmates, this is the fucking soulmate for me, and all that. And it just, holy shit, did that bomb. It just, after that, things started to go wrong with my health. And for those of you that don't know, around September of 2018, my chest, I started to, my lung was collapsing. My right lung was collapsing. And there was no evident reason. It was just a bleb in my lung popped and started secreting oxygen between my chest wall and my lung. And that pressure kept building and building and building. And I was in a lot of pain, and I didn't really know what was going on. And, you know, this fraternity, I told them, I was like, I'm not going to be able to make it to this event. I don't feel good. And they wanted to fine me and charge me money and all this. And after a month goes by, I felt like my lung was suspended in liquid. And I finally went to the urgent care, and they said, you know, it looks fine. We're going to have a radiologist look at it, but, you know, we think that you're fine. And then a couple days later, I get a call, and it was like, Mr. White, your lung is collapsing. You need to go to the hospital now. So I went to the hospital, and I got shot through my chest with a tube that went all the way down the side of my lung, and was told to cough. I was awake for it. It was traumatic and horrible. And I was in the hospital for a couple of days, and I got out of the hospital. And, you know, that partner that I was with, you know, we got closer through the experience. Well, some events occurred after that are going to scar me for a while, and I'm working through them. Things happened with that partner that I don't want to get into detail about. But something really, really bad happened. And before I had the ability to process it, my lung was collapsing again. So first I had to go to Christmas and look like everything was okay with me, and everything wasn't. And, put on that happy face. And my lungs started to collapse again. I had to go to the hospital. This time I needed lung surgery. So they put an epidural in my spine. I was awake for that, and that was fucking horrifying. Put an epidural in my spine, and they put me out on, I was unconscious, and they said, you're going to be out for 3 days. I woke up 2 hours after surgery. Basically what I had was a right-sided thoracoscopic mechanical pleurodesis. Say that 10 times fast, right? And what happened was, if I can show the scars. Oh yeah, there's my sexy body. They sliced me open. I don't even know if you could see that. So, fuck my knees. I don't know if you could see that or not, or if you just saw me lifting my arm. But they sliced me open. They went in with a wire brush and scraped my lung until it was bleeding all over on the right side. And they stuck a tube that thick in my chest through the side to suck out the blood. And they scarred my lung to my chest. That's not the reason why my voice sounds like this, by the way. I'm just kind of losing my voice from singing and all of that. I'll get into that later. But that happened, and I didn't get to process the bad event that had happened with my partner. So I was out of the hospital for 2 days. I was on oxycodone. I was on fentanyl every 45 minutes. And Tylenol. I couldn't take ibuprofen. I was on morphine. I had an epidural in my spine. It was fucking awful. It was just horrible. And I got out. They wanted me to take 2 weeks off of school, and I wasn't going into my senior year, second semester of college. And there's no fucking way that was going to happen. So I was out of the hospital for 2 days, and then I went back to school for my last semester. And I was doing capstone and all that. I was the team captain, and then had to drop that so I could work on the stuff. I just couldn't. I didn't have the ability to do a lot of that stuff anymore. And then I had to rehabilitate myself to be able to breathe. Before the surgery, I could take in 450 milliliters of volumetric air. After it, I think I could take 30. So that doesn't put into perspective how fucked up I was after that. And I was on painkillers, and it was just, I was numb. I stared at walls. I would go through withdrawals every day to be able to get my classwork done. And it was scarring. I got through it, and I still had my partner. Well, things with that partner really started to deteriorate even more. And I ended up graduating, surviving that year, and I got a house, and I lost the house and kind of didn't have a place to stay for a little bit. That relationship dissolved and ended in a very, very bad state, and I ended up staying with family on a twin-size bed for a couple of months, and I was very, very, very depressed. I left a town that I had become accustomed to. I was back to square one, and I felt worthless. I felt, ashamed. I felt embarrassed. All of this stuff that just hit me, and I heard a lot of people complaining about a lot of things, and I just decided, I was like, fuck it, man. At least I got a place to stay. I got a place to live and food to eat, and that's all that I could have asked for at that point in time. My hierarchy of needs was being met in the most basic of ways. And after that, I cut out social media. I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I saw people that, the best parts of their lives were being portrayed, and it wasn't happening to me. And, what the fuck is wrong with my life? All these people have all this good shit going on, and I'm just sitting in hell. That's kind of how it felt. And it's really easy to blame people and point the finger at them and not really take control of my own life. So I cut out social media, and I made amends with a lot of people that I had isolated myself from. And I tried I lost some beautiful people in my life that I don't think I'm ever going to get back, but I tried. A couple months later, I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, and I've started doing things that make me feel a little bit better. I got put on antidepressants, getting into some fucking therapy, mate. Just like we all fucking need therapy. At some point or another, all this shit just goes haywire, and we need therapy to get through it, because there's no fucking way I'm going to get through this shit without therapy. So where I am in my life right now, I am putting a lot of effort into addressing those problems that I have in my life, the PTSD that I've acquired, the depression, the anxiety, all of this stuff. And I kind of want to get back into making YouTube videos. I can't make any promises. But I do know that in all of those times when I was feeling really alone and really dark, that sitting in a room by myself talking to a camera felt like the first time I could really be me. Felt like the first time I could really speak without being interrupted. Some people thought I was a joke, funny to make fun of the guy, all of that. And everybody has their own opinion. Some people don't like it. Some people, some people love it. But I really cared about that stuff. And at some point, I just wallowed. I just got lost. And it's really easy for me to get caught up in a lot of the stuff that was and not the stuff that is. And it's keeping me from the stuff that will be. So this was 18 minutes or so worth of me talking. And I know some of you probably didn't even make it this far, but that's okay. I just need you to know that I'm okay, that I am trying my hardest. And every single one of you that cared about me, that wrote me fan mail, that made me a part of your life and integrated me into your life, I want to thank you, because in some of my darkest times, you guys are what kept me alive. And you'll probably have noticed that I got a shit ton of tattoos now. I've gotten to a point in my life now where I'm no longer describing them to people above a surface level. I got the Song of Time in here from Legend of Zelda, and I thought that was pretty fucking badass. These are chains, locks, and keys. More keys. Got my H touched up. Tree. Keys on the front. But I'm okay. I really am. I got a lot of work to still do, and I'm hoping that I can keep you guys in my life, that even if this is just a hobby or a thing to keep me going, that I do it. Because I have a habit of caring a lot for other people, but not enough for myself. So for any of you that are out there that are struggling, that are alone, that feel worthless, just know that at the end of the night, the sun has to come up. Things can always be worse. And I'm here for you guys. Even if it's just the energy I'm sending out to you or the words that you're hearing right now. No, none of us are perfect. But we're stronger together. So I'm going to go ahead and stop being cheesy. I've spent enough time on here. I love you guys. Thank you very much for watching. And hopefully I will do some other videos and just have some fun. I might do a lot more of this dialoguing and just speaking. I've been doing a lot of writing too, so maybe I will read some of the stuff that I've written and show you some of the stuff that I've drawn. Maybe even start looking into podcasting, because I think that would be a lot of fun. I keep telling my friends that we got to get involved in that shit. So, all right, you lovely people, stay sane, stay safe. Peace.
To have you guys and to have at least one person say, man, this thing you make makes my day. And I never would have thought that anything that I did would have made such an impact on anybody. And that's why I make it an effort. I make an effort to respond to everybody that messages me or comments, because I've been there. I've been in a place where you feel like you're nothing. But the truth is like, through the people on the screen, like I've been on the other side. I know what it's like to have like those days where you really feel like the only person that understands you is the person that makes you smile and tries to make you smile. And I really want to do that.